Hi, my name's Amy, and I am just doing my RIR assignment. I have decided to focus on a student named Case that I have. He is a second grader that is diagnosed with autism. He actually just recently became one of my ILC students in the significant needs room. So we are still kind of learning things. I have built a pretty good relationship with him over the past couple of months, which has been very beneficial to me. Case is typically a very sweet boy and will follow directions the first time that they're given. However, he does not like school very much. So trying to get him to complete work is quite a challenge. I found that if you're willing to work with him and accommodate day by day, then that's really what works best for him. So what I have decided to focus on with Case is the behavior that I kind of see when we're doing reading, or math. Those seem to be the two subjects where I really get a reaction out of. When he is asked to do reading, we've been working on poems a lot lately, and he does not like that. And we've been doing a lot of measuring, and he does not like that. So when asked to do those two specific things, or just reading and math in general, he will scream and then typically climb on furniture and sometimes throw pencils and paper around. So I really decided to focus on those specific behaviors, the throwing, screaming, and climbing on furniture when asked to do math or reading. So a couple of things that I've decided that I'm going to use with him are either putty, the Putty, or this little ball thing that I have, and also a slinky. These are kind of materials that I have that I know work for him and will help him stay on task and to help him calm down. So he typically demonstrates this behavior in the gen ed classroom, but then we'll also display it in the special education classroom. He is mostly in his gen ed classroom a majority of the day, but when he gets escalated, we do bring him back to the special ed room, so we do see the behaviors in there as well. Case is a student that really needs a lot of praise. So when he is doing an appropriate behavior, I want to make sure that everybody knows to just give him a lot of praise and really a lot of compliments. He works very well off of verbal praise. He doesn't really need the high fives or like a hug or a pat on the back. He really just likes being told that he's doing a nice job. I typically say, wow, Case, I'm so proud, and then I state what he is doing, and that seems to really work for him. So then we do our verbal blocking for when he is getting escalated in the classroom. And for verbal blocking, I would do something and I would say Case, and then I would say stop, and I would hand him, at this point, either the putty or the ball. Depending on which one is just kind of a day-to-day thing. He typically comes in and gets to choose which one he wants for the day, so depending on the day, I would give him one of those. I would state his name because I want to make sure that we are distracting him from what's going on, and then being firm, saying stop, and then giving him something so that he has something to help him calm down. For the physical block, I decided that I would touch his arm and I would go Case. I would touch his arm because that's where a lot of the behavior is going to come from. It's either going to be something getting thrown or himself pushing up on the table. While we are doing the touching his arm and everything, it'll also throw him off a little bit and get him to stop screaming, hopefully. When Case is in an elevated state like this and we're doing the physical block and we're saying Case, sit down, he's going to need prompts to do that. However, when he's escalated, the hearing of language is not there. He is a person that will need either physical prompts or like gestural prompts. So if what we want him to do is get down, I can very often go, Case, get down, and point to get down. So I would say starting with gestural prompts and moving up to physical prompts if it gets to that point is what needs to be done. And then some reinforcers that he really likes for when he does show me that he can do this are he likes to color. And he also has a little pet snake lizard cage in my desk that we set up, and he can go and play with them for a little bit. That is obviously only accessible if we are in the special ed classroom. So I would say for reinforcement, it should be the coloring. So Case, nice job doing this. Now you can color. I decided that I would be doing interval data collection for Case to see, how often this is happening and where is it happening. Interval data tends to be the one that goes best with physical behavior. And then my next steps, if I took all of my data and I was not seeing progress, I would first start to look at like an FBA. Case has an FBA, so I would kind of go back to that and see what we talked about before and try to figure out the function of his behavior. I would also really want to look at the consistency across different environments and with different teachers. Case needs the consistency, and if something's even a little off, then he gets very confused. So that's one of the big things I'd want to look at is the function of behavior and consistency. And if we're not being consistent, I would want to call the whole entire team and para educators, gen ed teacher, related services, principal if needed, and talk about what kind of redirection and reinforcement and stuff we're going to be using. That way he knows exactly what is expected of him each and every time. So that is my assignment. I would obviously hope that I would see progress being made by Case. And if I was seeing progress, then I would just want to make sure that we kept everything going well.